Hey, what is up, lovelies? It is Lynn the Gacha Goblin, and we have something to talk about today. This is actually very serious, what is happening in the community right now. So let's go over everything without showing too much, because I also don't want to get into trouble. And this is actually not concerning veggies. Surprise, surprise, I know, right? It's very shocking. This is actually concerning something a little bit more serious than just veggies. Veggies are things that could or could not be true, whereas data mining and distribution of those assets is illegal. That is literally something that belongs to Infold, and that has been distributed, and that is of course not appropriate. That is not legal in any way, shape, or form, and this is what happened. So I had seen something last night, and I saw like a 3D rendering of an outfit. Basically, it was an outfit. I'm not going to describe what the outfit looked like because look, I'm not going to get in trouble for this, but it was something that looked like it could be real, but it looked like it could be fake. And I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna let this, play out, because if this is how you acquired this information, there is going to be action taken by Infold. And lo and behold, action has been taken. Infold has said something to the person who had posted that content, and it's been posted publicly. So there are so many things about this that we need to talk about. Let's just start with the post, okay? So Infold went ahead and commented on the post by their name is Frisky, right? The content you have shared appears to involve the unauthorized extraction and distribution of our game assets, which constitutes a serious violation of our intellectual property rights. We have conducted a preliminary investigation gathering the necessary evidence and will take appropriate legal action. We request the immediate removal of the infringing content. Please cease any further distribution in any form and issue a public clarification and apology to mitigate the negative impact this incident may have caused. So, what was the post? The post was screenshots of some other creator using those, basically sharing what they had data mined and bringing it to Twitter. So this is what Frisky did. She took a screenshot of something, put it on Twitter, credited the other person, and said, "Hey guys, this is things that were data mined in the game." Basically, that was the post. Now, this got some attention online, of course. And unfortunately, it also pulled the attention of Love and Deepspace officially. And to their right, it is their intellectual property. They have the right to say, don't do this, we're going to take legal action, and that they should apologize for anything that they've done. But it is also the community now who is going after this person who had posted this, because not only did this person share these files, but they have also shared things that are in relation to BL. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. Lex here actually covers this. So apparently the real reason for this OP posted LIXLI art, and when CN fans found out, they used the leak she posted as an excuse to report them. It's not wrong to post LIXLI, but also Infold kind of doesn't have a choice when the veggie is being mass reported. So the mass report of the data mined information is one thing, but as we know, a lot of the different veggies online, we've never heard of somebody being mass reported and then Infold taking direct action towards that one person. Usually they make like a general post, right? So this specifically targeted this person. Their name is Frisky Inc. On Twitter, I believe. So I mean, you can see it right here, so it's a little bit concerning. Now, some people in the comments in this little area here is saying no, the real reason is because They posted game assets, including content that hasn't even been released yet. The LI art, however, is not the real reason. But to be perfectly honest, I agree with Lex. Like, those reasons are not mutually exclusive. It could be both factors, because CN community does not like LIXLI in terms of Love and Deepspace. Some people are genuinely strongly against that, and it is very, it's their law there. I can't outwardly say it's homophobic, because I know that some people still release Danmei, and that's in China, and they enjoy that, but involving it into Love and Deepspace is where it gets a little bit tricky, and we can see that from this CN poster here. So this is Habibi, and they said, well done Love and Deepspace lads twit. Now I don't want to go off and like open like some of these, because it does contain the content that is not allowed. Like, as you can see, some of the assets of their faces have been released, and people have been also explaining how to do that. But this is the post, or like the screenshot of the person who had reported, I guess, Frisky, and also this other person who had been posting the LIX art. So this here says, all the feedbacks were about blah blah blah. These pictures have been conveyed already. Let's go and give the baby another update. I don't know what the baby is. There's a new development buddy regarding the unpacking issue. Blah 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 has received the following feedback. We have noticed your reported problem and have completed the investigation. Relevant departments are currently following up on the matter. Thank you very much for your feedback. Such illegal unpacking of game packages to obtain assets and share and disseminate them infringes upon our intellectual property rights, shows extreme disrespect towards the male protagonist, and seriously undermines the player experience. We will not tolerate this behavior and will hold those responsible accountable to the fullest extent. So that is the situation on the unpacking stuff, but this same individual was posting, again, BL stuff on their timeline, and this is like the comment. This is some of the art. There's other art, of course. This was on Blue Sky, and it just shows the male characters kissing, I guess, a guy. I don't look. I'm not against BL. I personally love BL. But when it comes to Love and Deepspace, that's where everything gets a little bit tricky. So this Habibi here says, no YNF Atomi BL. So they said, took a screenshot of a game on their end, and the tags that Love and Deepspace has put Love and Deepspace as is heterosexual game. They specifically have a tag for heterosexual game. They don't just call it a romance game. For us, they even call it a dating sim on our platforms. We don't understand the confusing genders and sexual orientations in Western. Okay. In China, the distinction is simply between homosexual and heterosexual. Straight is colloquial terms for heterosexual people, while heterosexual is the academic official term for straight. Have you ever thought that Infold is made of CN players? 80% of Infold's employees are young women living in Shanghai. CN players played Infold's games and then joined through campus recruitment. Conversely, Infold only recruits CN players who play Infold games. I don't know why this needed to be included, but then they start saying stuff in, I guess, Chinese? I am a CN player. I do not represent paper games. CN players will not play BG in Danmei, nor will they play BL in Otome. Now, I'm guessing BG is like girl love. I'm not sure, because Danmei is basically equivalent to boy love, right? Nor will they play boy love in Otome games, heterosexual games, I'm guessing, is basically what they're saying. No one wants to persecute you. All CN Otome games prohibit BL. You follow CN instead of CN following you. You do not make the rules. If you do not follow the rules, no problem. We will see who can beat who. So I don't know why they have to make it so antagonistic at the very end. They could just leave it as, informative, but hey, that's just my opinion. But yeah, so this has been posted under, quote retweeting what had happened. If you actually go ahead and find this post, you'll see what was released last night, albeit it's a little bit pixelated now and a little bit blurry because, they wanted to hide everything. But yeah, so they included this, and then I found this post here. Let's see. Some CN players who reported Frisky targeted her because she reposted a post that had LIXLI content, and I think she was still receiving hate from Infold posts because of that. IDK Lad's tweet is cuckoo. So it is a little bit of a mixed bag situation. I agree with Miss Bodyguard here. It's a mixed bag. The fact that Infold had directly commented on an individual's post like this puts a huge target on the person's back for a lot of people to take very bad actions against them. Yes, it was bad that they distributed the assets of the game, but now people are taking it and kind of using it as ammo against them liking BL content in terms of Love and Deepspace. This is such a complicated situation. I'm personally just upset with how the community has been handling this, because I've seen some posts on my timeline discussing this topic, and there's a lot of homophobia that is being spread, and why does it have to happen during Pride Month? It's just the timing is so unfortunate, and I don't know. Like I said, this whole situation, like this whole mass reporting, it is crazy. And what is crazier is that I heard that there are still posts going around showing people how to data mine into the game. Still, there are still posts of people like explaining, oh, this is how you get these assets from the game so you can use it for yourself. And yet those posts are not being mass reported, maybe because, I don't know, people want that information. Those people are not posting BL, so they're not being mass reported. So like I said, the whole BL situation is alleged. Saying that the Frisky was reported because she liked BL, and she just so happened to also have something that is seriously bad on her account, like the game assets, that they use those game assets to report her so she'll stop spreading BL. All of that is alleged, right? I don't have specific proof of people saying that directly, but the fact that people are still sharing how to data mine in the game, and those people are not getting mass reported, that's where I have an issue. That's where I'm like, okay, this situation is a lot more complicated than what it just looks like. That being said, people are still going to data mine this game. People have been data mining everything under the moon just to get more information about whatever game, whether a gacha game, any live service game. It doesn't even need to be a game. People are just spreading data mining, and it is going to happen in Love and Deepspace. Posts like this direct post that Love and Deepspace made, is going to, of course, dissuade the majority of people, but the minority of people, you can't control everybody. People are still going to do what people do. Whether or not they get caught, whether or not they get mass reported, that's on them now. How they're going to distribute that kind of information, that's on them, It is so complicated. It is a complicated situation. You gotta admit, like, it's almost like, I don't know, it's just crazy. It's almost hypocritical. Like, people are mass reporting this one user for spreading this, but they're not gonna mass report the people who are showing people how to data mine. Like, showing people how to data mine and still showing the content from Love and Deepspace, by the way. They still show, like, the screenshots. So they'll show a screenshot and they'll be like, oh, this is how you data mine. I'm gonna show you guys how. So it's, like, kind of crazy. Anyway, that's what's been going on. I felt like this is something that can and should be talked about. The whole BL situation is something that's not going to change, unfortunately, because this is a CN game with a majority of CN players with a CN company, and that complicates it for everyone. I don't agree with how Habibi had handled the conversation and got a little bit antagonistic at the end. That was unnecessary, but the explanation I guess made sense. Anyway, that is pretty much what's happening. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. I understand the whole intellectual property rights defending situation, but everything else a little bit complicated. Okay, well, that is pretty much it. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave your comments down below, and yeah, I am Lynn the Gacha Goblin, and I will see you lovelies in the next video. I'm gonna go eat now. Bye bye.